Hold on to your sushi, folks. The sun is rising in the east, and this time it's not setting. Welcome to the 21st century, or as we like to call it, the Asian century. Imagine a world where the balance of power shifts, where the east takes center stage, and the west watches from the wings. That's the Asian century for you. A projected era where Asia's influence in politics, culture, and economics grows to become a dominating force. But what's causing this seismic shift, you ask? Well, let's start with the numbers. We're talking about a region that's home to over 50% of the world's population. That's a lot of people. And they're not just sitting around. They're working, producing, innovating. Countries like China and India are leading the charge with robust economic performance and productivity growth that's turning heads worldwide. These Asian powerhouses are not just growing, they're booming. Fueled by a potent mix of population growth and economic dynamism, they're predicted to account for over half of the global output by the year 2050. That's right, more than half. And it's not just about the money, it's about the cultural and political clout that comes with it. The concept of the Asian century isn't just a fancy phrase, it's a reality that's being reinforced by scholars, economists, and political leaders alike. But don't take our word for it. The proof, as they say, is in the pudding, or in this case, the sushi. Now, if you're as excited as a panda on a bamboo diet about this Asian century, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe. Or else a samurai might just chop off your internet connection. So what happened to Uncle Sam? Did he retire to Florida? Not quite, but it's safe to say that the American century is waving its goodbye. Now let's take a step back and explore how this all came to be. The American century, the 20th century, was a period when the United States was the world's dominant economic, political, and cultural force. The stars and stripes were soaring high, and it seemed like nothing could bring them down. But like all great dynasties, there were cracks in the foundation waiting for the right time to break. The first crack came in the form of an economic slowdown. The financial crisis of 2008 was a stark reminder that even the most powerful economies are not immune to collapse. The recovery was slow and painful, leaving many to question the stability of the American economic model. Next came the political challenges. The United States, once a beacon of democracy, started showing signs of internal friction. Political polarization increased, causing gridlock in Washington and making it harder to address pressing issues at home and abroad. And then there's the shift in global power dynamics. While the United States was dealing with its internal issues, the world didn't stop spinning. The East began to rise, with countries like China and India experiencing rapid economic growth. They expanded their influence, challenging the United States' position as the world's sole superpower. It's not that the United States has become irrelevant, far from it. But the balance of power is shifting, and the American century, as we know it, is coming to an end. It's a natural progression, a changing of the guard, if you will. So, while Uncle Sam is sipping on his retirement margarita, the Asian century is just getting the party started. Now, let's talk about the big guns, the dragons and tigers of Asia. No, we're not talking about a new kung fu movie. Imagine a world stage, and on it, two titans are rising, their shadows looming large and their roars echoing far and wide. Yes, folks, we're talking about the twin powerhouses, China and India, the dragons and tigers of Asia. These two nations are currently flexing their muscles, and the world is sitting up and taking notice. First up, let's shine the spotlight on China. This dragon has been breathing fire in the global economic scene for quite a while now. Its economy has been growing at a blistering pace, and it's not showing any signs of slowing down. From a manufacturing powerhouse, China is morphing into a global leader in technology and innovation. It's not just about made in China anymore, it's about created in China. But what's a dragon without a tiger to keep the balance? Enter India, the roaring tiger that's making its presence felt in the global arena. With one of the world's fastest growing economies, India is not just following in China's footsteps but carving its own path. This tiger is betting big on its young and dynamic population, and it's paying off. We're seeing a boom in startups, a surge in technological advancements, and an increase in foreign investment. But it's not just about the money. These two giants are also flexing their political muscles. China, with its Belt and Road Initiative, is reaching out across continents. forming alliances and increasing its geopolitical influence. India, on the other hand, is leveraging its soft power, its rich cultural heritage, and its democratic principles to gain a foothold in the global political scene. And let's not forget, these two nations are home to over a third of the world's population. That's a lot of consumers, a lot of talent, and a lot of potential. It's a demographic dividend that's ripe for the picking. So there you have it. Two nations, two narratives, but one common thread: the undeniable rise of Asia. The dragons and tigers are not just rising, they're soaring, reshaping the global landscape and challenging the status quo. With dragons and tigers leading the way, the Asian century is looking like an epic blockbuster. But wait, it's not all sunshine and sushi rolls. There are some choppy waters ahead. As we set sail towards the horizon of the Asian century, it's important to remember that the journey won't be all smooth sailing. There are challenges, conflicts, and conundrums that could potentially disrupt this epic of Asian dominance. First and foremost, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the dragon and the tiger. We're talking about China and India, the two behemoths of Asia. These two nations, both with booming economies and burgeoning populations, have an uneasy relationship marked by historical conflicts and territorial disputes. The divide between these two giants of Asia could potentially impact the region's ability to lead the Asian century, creating waves that could ripple across the globe. And it's not just the tension between China and India that poses a challenge. There's also the issue of economic disparities. Yes, Asia is home to some of the world's fastest-growing economies, but it's also home to some of the world's poorest nations. The gap between the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots, is a stark reality in many parts of Asia. This economic inequality could potentially destabilize the region, undermining the unity and cohesion needed for the Asian century to truly take hold. Then there are the geopolitical issues. Asia is a complex tapestry of nations, cultures, and political systems, each with their own ambitions and agendas. Navigating this intricate labyrinth of relationships and rivalries is no easy task. It's like playing a high-stakes game of chess, where one wrong move could trigger a cascade of consequences. And let's not forget about the environmental challenges. Asia is on the front lines of climate change, facing threats ranging from rising sea levels to extreme weather events. These environmental issues could have far-reaching impacts, affecting everything from food security to economic stability. So it's clear that the path to the Asian century is not a straight, smooth highway. It's more like a winding mountain road, with twists and turns, ups and downs, and a few bumps along the way. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Challenges can be catalysts for change, sparking innovation, fostering cooperation, and inspiring solutions. So, while the Asian century is on the rise, there are still some dragons to slay on the way. But with resilience, determination, and a little bit of luck, there's no doubt that Asia is poised to rise to the occasion. After all, every century has its challenges, and every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. So what's next? Will the Asian century continue to rise, or will it be a one-hit wonder, like Gangnam Style? As we delve into the future, the Asian century looks far from being a fleeting phenomenon. The strong economic performance, population growth, and continued productivity growth in countries like China and India have set the stage for Asia's dominance in the 21st century. Analysts and scholars are predicting that by mid-century, Asia could account for over half of the global output. Yes, you heard it right. Over half of the world's economic production could be coming from this vibrant and diverse continent. This is not just a shift in economic power. It's a seismic shift in how the world works, in how global politics and culture are shaped. Of course, the journey won't be without its bumps. There are challenges ahead. The divide between China and India, for instance, could impact the region's ability to lead the Asian century. However, the spirit of innovation and resilience that permeates throughout Asia is not to be underestimated. Whether it's the technological prowess of Japan, the manufacturing strength of China, or the IT revolution in India, Asia is shaping the contours of the 21st century. It's not just about economic indicators or GDP growth. It's about the rise of an entire civilization, the resurgence of ancient cultures, and the world waking up to the power of the East. So whether it's sushi or samosa, get ready to embrace the flavors of the Asian century. The future is not just bright, it's Asian. And it's high time we all start to understand, appreciate, and adapt to this changing global dynamic. Because like it or not, the Asian century is here to stay.